Hey guys, this is Sean from GST Workshop, and I'm going to go over the basics of knives and the differences between them and what would be the best one or best fit for your individual needs, that kind of thing. As you can see, we have a pile here and we're going to go through it. So first off is we're going to go over folders. So I'm going to get rid of these guys. These are all fixed blades. One of my carry options is this. It is a CRKT. It is designed by James Williams, and he is a martial artist who's local to the San Diego area, and it comes out pretty good. It is a Japanese style tip, or tanto, original tanto. So you can see how it sweeps very gradually to a fine point. These knives are really designed for maximum penetration, and then they do slash pretty well. You can see it's called the Hisatsu 2 and then Williams. So this has a auto lock function. So this is a stout little folder. You can see how thick the handle is on this. So that's one of the things that attracted me to this particular knife. I pretty much use it for utility use, but even though it's designed not for utility use, that's what I use it for. It's handy. You can switch the clip. It's a pretty good little knife. One-handed operation, always good. So that is the folder I carry. That's one type. The other type that I carry is a Fox karambit. You can carry it like this or hold it like this. You can also use it like this. You don't have to have your pinky in there. You can hold it like this, depending on the application. Karambits were originally like farm tools that were used. Part of it was so that if you had this in your pinky, you could still carry things and it'll just be handy. So that was basically the origin of them, but they had turned into a useful weapon as well. So this is like a freaking raptor claw. You imagine this thing going in and cutting and doing its thing. Yeah, pretty nasty. This one's pretty handy because it has a deployment loop that Emerson has patented, and of course they have the patent number, so they have the permission to do it and all that good stuff. So very handy knife. One-handed operation. When you pull it with your index finger, it grabs your pant pocket and comes out. And if you pull it out with a good enough speed and practice, it comes out, locks back, and it's ready to be deployed in reverse grip. And you can also do it. It really isn't designed to be deployed the other way around because of the way it's just the way it is. So it's mainly reverse grip. So very cool knife. If you haven't heard of Fox knives, this is a pretty good karambit. There's other ones out on the market. This is just an example. So that is one version of a karambit. Now for fixed blades, those are pretty much, neither of those knives are really utility use. A utility knife, more for like a camping situation, would be like this particular knife. This particular knife is a Dawson. It's called the Raider, and it's a 4-inch blade. It has a hilt, a little bit of a hilt on it, so if you were to use it thrusting or trying to push into something with whatever it is, your hand, it will catch your hand basically. It won't slip into the blade and cut your fingers, or at least it's less likely to. It's got jimping here to grab, so you have traction. The grip, one of the best feeling knives in your hand that you're gonna find. It's micarta, so when it gets wet, it gets more tacky, so it like just wants to stick to your hand. Your hand doesn't get slippery. So very cool. This is a bottle opener, or can be used as a bottle opener. So if you were to use it as a bottle opener, I would hold the bottle low, because as you go like this, you don't want to hold it high and cut into your hand. And then the back part can be used as a flat blade, like screwdriver, you know, or impact weapon if you're not going to use the lethal end of it. So very cool knife, all around camping knife. I use this for camping. You could use it as a survival knife. It's thick enough. I mean, look at how thick. You got a 1/4 inch tang on this thing all the way through. So very tough knife. So that is, and the point on this would be more of like a drop point, like a hunter style. There's more exaggerated versions of that. So that's one option of a like all around kind of utility knife for camping or outdoors. Love it. I love this knife. Something that is more camping utility or survival situation is this particular bad boy. This is a Tops knife with a, I had a custom Hedgehog Leatherworks sheath made for it way back in the day, and now they offer more options on their sheaths. So they have a bungee cord that basically clips on here. You can wear this on the small of your back or put whatever loop through it to carry it however you want to carry it. This particular knife is very cool. Tops again makes it. It's a micarta grip, so when it gets wet, it gets more tacky in your hands. This particular blade, also 1/4 inch thick, has a nasty saw on it to get the job done. Has a pretty good point. You can drill with this. This is the chopping end, like an axe. This is the end that you would use for, you could skin. And then carving, smaller things. And again, you can carry it, or not carry it, but grip it like this for more tight work. You can switch that position to here. And if you really want to get the most out of it, you have enough to grab to do chopping, so you get more leverage and swing on it. So again, a very cool knife. This is literally made for survival. It's supposed to do everything. They even have a class. Tom Brown teaches a class that utilizes every aspect of this knife so you can learn and be more efficient with it. So if you haven't taken a survival class, I encourage you to do it, because when you watch something on TV like that Naked and Afraid or any of the other survival shows, you really don't appreciate how hard it is to start a fire or to make some of the stuff you see on TV until you actually do it yourself. And I have practiced a lot in the past, and I have done it, and it is hard. And if you don't do it often, you can kind of lose the ability to do it. So try to keep up on your skills. If that's your thing, then yeah, make sure you stay in practice, because it is a perishable kind of thing. So another good knife. This is for survival. So the anatomy of a knife basically is a handle and a point, and there's different points. I showed you a Japanese style point, which is an original Japanese tanto. This is a cold steel. This is an American style tanto. This is not an original Japanese design. You can see it's got more of a right angle here. It has a point basically here and here. This particular one is a cold steel Recon Tanto. It is made in Japan. It's a Sanmai steel. It has 3 layers. So you got softer layers on the outside and the harder layers in the middle where the sharpening edge is. So it has like the best of both worlds kind of thing. This has a pretty good tang on it. I'm not sure how far the tang goes in the handle. I believe it's only slightly smaller on these. Still a very tough knife. This is the same knife that when I do martial arts or train with. This little hilt on it actually helps a lot when you're sparring with the plastic version of this, and you lose your grip. It does prevent your hand from sliding into the blade. So if you, for whatever reason, happen to lose your grip, it happens. So it's good to have something there if you're going to be using it in an aggressive manner. So and the handle on this is rubber. I think they call it Creighton. It is pretty grippy. Even when wet, it's still pretty grippy. It doesn't get tacky like my micarta grip, but it's a good grip. So don't have any problems with it. And the sheath that it comes with, it's pretty good. You can lash it. You could strap it to a belt. You have plenty of holes. You could even unscrew these, take this piece off if you don't want to mount it to a belt. So very cool. Very positive feel. Ain't gonna come out. And then just to be extra sure, you button it and it ain't gonna go anywhere. So very good knife. Here's a Japanese version again of something similar in length. Pretty good sheath. This is a Columbia River knife and tool. This is the Hitsatsu. This is another James Williams knife. Very cool, very long sweeping edge for a Tonto. And I redid the grip on this because I didn't like the grip that was on it. I will do a full review on this and how this is done. I basically did a Japanese style type rope grip, and I like it much better than what was on it. So a little bit of an improvement that I thought, and you can see the profile, how it gets larger at this end and kind of sinks in a little bit here, and then again gets bigger again. Good grip. Again, this doesn't have a hilt on it, so there's different techniques to prevent that if you were going to use it. But the design of the knife also makes it easier to penetrate, less likely to be that forceful when you are thrusting it. So that is one thing that it's designed for, really. But again, there's different techniques to prevent that from happening. So I will go over any knives in particular that any of you want to see in a full review, and in later videos. So I got one more knife to show you. This is basically like a World War II style. I believe this is originally like a British commando type knife. It's a replica of, supposed to be a replica of a V42, I believe, or something like that. This was a gift from a friend. It's double-edged, so you couldn't carry this at all, period. And it's too long anyways, unless it's open, but you couldn't carry this anyways. Like, you can carry a fixed blade in perfect view, as long as it's in perfect view. Can't be concealed. But this is just cool to have, kind of a nostalgia thing. So this is made from like, it looks like this is layered leather, and then it's ridged or put ridges on it. And it has a full hilt, so your hand ain't slipping on this at all. And then it's got a point on this thing. Jeez. So yeah, that's pretty devastating if you were to use it in battle. So pretty cool little knife. It's not, this is a pretty cheap replica. It's still cool to have. I like knives, so definitely cool knife, even if it isn't built to a high quality like some of the other knives out there that are available, because there are a few out there that are built like that, and they're pricey. So, and then if you guys ever get into the hobby of learning how to throw a knife, which is definitely challenging, then this is a two-set knife throwing knife set, actually, I'm sorry. Very cool. There's different techniques on throwing, and learning distance and learning how to throw and how hard to throw and everything. It takes a long time to get the hang of, and I have to kind of almost relearn it when I haven't done it in a while. So it's fun, but it's like hard to find an area where you can go and do that, unless you have your own backyard and you can set up an area with where the knives can then bounce, because you're not going to land them in the target all the time. So when the knives don't stick in, they're going to bounce. So you don't want to be doing it over concrete, so you're going to be damaging your knives. You want to have it so that it lands in maybe grass or dirt or sand. Maybe not sand. Sand does wear on it a little bit more, but grass or dirt can be fine. But this is kind of a cool little setup. So they make different sizes, of course. So whatever your purpose of getting a particular knife, dictates, what you want. If you're going to go for camping, I like this for camping because it actually has a drop point. Hunting, it would work as a hunting knife too. For those, you would need a different set of knives for field dressing. I have basically a 3-knife set I take hunting, and there's a Skinner blade, which is a tinier, and then there's a medium-sized blade, which is about the same size, and then the knife also has a gut hook on it, and then there's it's more of like a chopping. It has a rounded end. It's kind of like the same profile as this particular knife, except it doesn't have a point, and it's like rounded on the end of it, and it's sharp like all the way on the edge, so you can kind of get in there and like cut away the sinew or the clear membrane that you run into when you're getting the stomach out, things like that. Lets you get in there without getting your hands all the way in there. So yeah, that's my take on overview of knives. So again, if anybody wants to see a specific review on one of the knives I have, or a particular knife that's out there, please let me know. And thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Stay safe, guys.